Different income from active to passive. I'm actively living this rap shit I'm gassing. Let me talk to y'all for a minute. Man, I turned this podcast rap show to a business. Refugee been hustling for years since I got admitted. Man, I got admitted I was broke, then I fucking did it. In the streets fitted. Man, no kidding. Catch me with a...
What's good, people? Esteban here, also known as Esteban, here with the Hustle Holdings podcast. And in this podcast, I want to talk to y'all about a few different things. So, just following with the format of the last podcast, basically, I'm going to make this one quick because there was some stuff that was being announced last week and this week in the US and in Canada and stuff, and more economy, tariffs, things like that.
Yeah, nothing really caught my eye this week in terms of news, although I know there's a lot happening. But I will speak about one of the things that caught my eye, which was the on July 14th, I think they're supposed to look at some of the crypto bills, like the Genius Act and things like that. So that's of interest to me.
So in July 2025, there have been significant activity in the U.S. regarding crypto bills, particularly in the House of Representatives. This is thanks to AI. Shout outs to Gemini, Google's AI. With a focus on Crypto Week and the advancement of several key pieces of legislation. Here's a summary of the updates. Key bills and developments. Crypto Week in the House week of July 14th. The House of Representatives plans to consider three landmark pieces of legislation. The Clarity Act. This bill aims to establish a clear regulatory framework for digital assets, safeguarding consumers and investors and providing rules for stablecoins. It has passed two House committee markup sessions and is expected to get renewed attention. The Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act. This bill would permanently block the creation of a central bank digital currency, which I think is great, by the Federal Reserve, addressing concerns about privacy and potential government control over transactions. That's fantastic. I agree with that. And the Genius Act, guiding and establishing innovation for U.S. stablecoins. This bill, which the Senate recently passed, establishes a regulatory framework for stablecoins, requiring them to be backed one by one by cash or U.S. Treasuries with audits and disclosures. The House is expected to vote on this bill with presidential sign-off anticipated if it passes. The FIT 21 Financial Innovation Technology for the 21st Century Act. This comprehensive digital asset market structure legislation passed the House in May 2024. With bipartisan support, it aims to establish a clear division of jurisdiction between the Commodity Futures Trading Commission and the Securities and Exchange Commission over digital assets. While it passed the House, it faces resistance in the Senate and is unlikely to advance in 2024. However, some stablecoin measures could still advance in the lame duck session. Bitcoin Act of 2024, introduced in the Senate on July 21st, 2024 by Senator Lummis. Cynthia Lummis, this bill proposes to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve and other programs for transparent management of the federal government's Bitcoin holdings. It was referred to the Senate's Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs. And then broader regulatory environment, shift in SEC approach. Under Republican-led leadership, this SEC appears to be moving towards a more structured and clear approach to cryptocurrency regulation. They have issued a new guidance on crypto ETF approval process, potentially streamlining approvals for various crypto ETFs. They all have also established a task force to draft new regulations and have paused or abandoned some high-profile enforcement cases from the previous administration. Trump administration's stance. The current administration has signaled a more pro-crypto stance, with President Trump issuing an executive order to establish regulatory clarity and creating a presidential working group on the digital assets market. This group is tasked with recommending regulatory and legislative proposals, including details on the strategic Bitcoin reserve and the U.S. digital asset stockpile. Federal Reserve and banking. Federal Reserve Board rescind previous guidance on crypto activities in the banking sector, aiming to align expectations with evolving risks and support innovation. State-level legislation. Numerous states continue to introduce or enact legislation concerning cryptocurrency digital currencies and other digital assets covering areas like banning CBDCs, regulating mining, and clarifying money transmission laws. So that's the update. And this is funny because Chad is a hip hop certified is my hip hop company. We post a lot of hip hop content on the Instagram. You can check it out, and we have hip hop content. If you're local to Calgary on the YouTube, Chad is a hip hop certified. Posting a lot of heat on the stories. Drake is actually talking about Bitcoin now, so he actually rapped it in one of his recent songs. What did I miss? And so, yeah, this thing seems to be coming around, and it's so funny because I told y'all I was giving my friend a book, The How Countries Go Broke by Ray Dalio. And in that book, he talks about the revert back to hard money. Kiyosaki's been talking about this for years, straight up. Gold, silver, Bitcoin, things they can't print, hard money, real money versus fake money. It's all fitting into this thing, and this Bitcoin act would be huge for Bitcoin. We'll see what happens that week. I don't know if I'm assuming crypto is going to respond very well for that, either initially or in the long term. So I'm bullish on Bitcoin in the long term, but that's kind of where things are. And that was of interest to me, that's something I'm looking out for. And so, yeah, this just all fits into the same theme of inflation and all this sort of stuff. We've been talking about it for a while now. I made a podcast on gold and why I own gold, things like that. So that's happening on July 14th, something to watch out for. Obviously, Elon and Trump are still going back and forth. Now he's saying that he wants to do a America First party, and Trump and Elon are going back and forth. It's causing the shares of Tesla to go down and all this stuff. And man, I don't know how that's going to turn out, but we'll see. And then in terms of updates for the week, pretty much just working, trying to get my course done. I think I'm about 1 or 2 chapters left. I'm on the corporation section of the volume 1 of the CSC. Just talking about how to read a financial statement, balance sheet, understand equity, depreciation, on PPE, property, plant, and equipment, all this sort of stuff. I was learning about derivatives and options, call options, put options, things like that in the last chapter. And then before that was long and short positions and trading equities using margin. And so, yeah, all this stuff is sort of interesting to me. I mean, I have these notes on my wall, and I plan on using this stuff, like you guys can see in the portfolio that I put together, I bought a preferred share. I didn't understand preferred shares before I took this course. And now I understand what a preferred share is. And it was so funny because it so happened that MicroStrategy was announcing that preferred share and their capital structure as I was learning this stuff, right? So I was like, oh, this is a cool way for me to take advantage of the hard money, the securities, and the things that I'm learning and put it together in a portfolio. And it actually is one of my best holdings up to date. I think I'm up 12% or 10% on that holding itself, the preferred share. So it's just funny how that works. But on the paper trading portfolio at least. So, but yeah, doing the CSC course, I think I should be able to get this first volume done pretty soon here. Probably going to book my exam pretty soon here. And yeah, haven't invested with the corporate accounts yet. I'm waiting to get my personal finances in order first before I do that. I have some debt to pay off. So once the debt's paid off and I got some excess cash, I'm going to start playing cash flow with the corporation. Shout out to Kiyosaki. We're looking at, I'll show you guys the results. And I want to just shout out the Market Hustle. Those guys are putting out a lot of great content on Instagram. I saw they just interviewed the founders of Robinhood. Super cool. We have Wealth Simple here in Canada. It's kind of the version of Robinhood. But yeah, I feel like those guys fucking get it. And I love the community that we're building on this Instagram and on the YouTube, hopefully, where we can really build like this dope community of people that are interested in finance, but also like are cool, They like fucking listening to rap music, and that's not even the focus. This so happens to be the case, and that's why I like the Market Hustle. Those guys get it. They understand how to combine those two things, and so it's just cool. see people like that, and they drop game, the really good game, really good information, and yeah, those guys. Shout out to the Market Hustle and the guy, the teams over there. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Stay consistent. That's the key. Consistency. Show up every day. Get shit done. Focus. Yeah. I appreciate y'all. Peace.
Different income from active to passive. I'm actively living this rap shit. I'm gassing. Let me talk to y'all for a minute. Man, I turned this podcast rap show to a business. Refugee been hustling for years since I got admitted. Man, I got admitted. I was broke, then I fucking did it. In the streets fitted. Man, no kidding. Catch me with a sweatsuit, man.